stupid computer. I hate it when that happens. It like every so often, it just like shoots the audio to the TV. So now you can hear me. So now what I have to do is go back and cut the entire first 2 minutes out of this video so y'all can hear me. We're going to start over in that case. Anyway, I'm here. I'm Nicole Sauce. You know who I am from Living Free in Tennessee. That is Tactical Redneck's torso because he's so tall, he does not fit in the video. So Tactical and I are just sort of doing our weekly debrief. Folks in the live stream, do me a favor. Let them know we're live on Telegram. And sorry about that whole like 2 minute period of time with no audio. I should have checked my settings, but I put myself on blast yesterday because I did an expert segment on how to have construction going on in your house and finding the balance by sweeping the floor every day and taking loads to the dump. And then this project started. And in order to keep the schedule going as quickly as possible, I didn't do any of that. And my house looks like, I don't even know what it looks like. It looks like a hoarder house. Was it a hoarder house about right?
Well, only half of it.
It looks like half a hoarder house. And there was like garbage all out under Taj Mahal where we do our events, like all of it. It was crazy. So I was like, I need to put myself on blast because I was all, I'm going to advise people on how to keep their sanity during construction. And I'm like, actually, in order to keep my sanity, I needed my kitchen project to go as quickly as possible. So we're coming to you from the kitchen studio today, and it looks a little different than most of my workshops. Guys, if you have any questions or things you want us to clarify, just let us know. It's easier for me to see it if you put it in all caps. So Tactical, say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Hopefully you can hear him. He's not very close to the mic. I have this idea. I'm going to change sides. You should go over there because the mic's over there and you're quieter than I am. Cece's joining the live stream too. This is Cece. This is the dog that got super hurt last year. It had to regrow all her skin for 4 months. And people from the community helped her. Anyway, so we'll do a debrief. So we are at the end of the week. It's Saturday, and we were stoked this morning because last night the Eversoles came over to see how the project was going. And they were like, hey, could we help this weekend? And the answer is, at this point, more hands will help. And I'm going to say that I'm not upset with the progress of this project. As you can see, my kitchen is completely ripped out, and most of the things that were in the kitchen are in my living room. But my house, since I bought it 15 years ago, when you walk in, you say, what's that smell? And it's not in a rotten potato sort of way. It's sort of like a really old, musty library sort of way. And no matter how much cleaning I do, it always smells like a musty library. And so what happened when we got into this project is I found out part of where the source of the smell is, and it had to do with the moisture problem that we fixed 2 years ago where water was going under the house. There's not water under the house anymore, but there was no good way for it to vent out. So everything smelled musty. And that was just kind of permeating up into the house. So unless I had just, run a bunch of essential oils or got used to it, it always kind of smelled like bad library experience. Is that about a good? You can't smell, can you?
No.
He can't smell. He doesn't know. Like today. So anyway, they were here, and under Taj Mahal was just like heaped with garbage. And they were like, well, maybe we could do some dump runs in the morning. So this morning at 9:30, the dogs were very happy to see everybody. We went to the dumpster with 2 sets of trailers. It took 3 loads of stuff. Way better with 4 people than with 1 or 2 people. And it's all gone. All of that stuff. And there was this one area that Tactical had put stuff. He's like, these have only been on your floor for 2 years. So maybe we don't throw those away. And I went up and took a sniff and caught a whiff of bad library. Those are gone too. So anyway, how would you say the week went? Did it go like you expected?
This is definitely a lot more in depth than I thought we were going.
Why?
Well,
because the mudroom was affected?
No, the whole completely replacing the floor joist. Because I was expecting just to replace whatever was rotted, and surprisingly, the only real rot was around the kitchen sink, and it was mostly the studs, not the joists. And so I was expecting to just level floor joists out and start throwing subfloor back down, but going all the way has definitely been a little bit more in depth, but it's also hugely beneficial because, like, when we replumbed the house, what, 3 years ago?
4 years ago, I
4 years
think.
ago, we
Yeah.
ran pipe through the attic because it's either that or start tearing into the floors. So with this, we're going to be rerunning the water again, but under the floor. It's going to be a lot shorter run, so less propane for heating the water and less freezing for wintertime.
Yeah, I have to drip all my faucets so that if we get below about 26 degrees, because they're in my attic, and my attic doesn't stay below freezing even though it's insulated. So that uses power to run the pump, the well pump, and whenever I forget, I freeze my pipes, which happened at least 3 times this winter because I was not on it this winter. And so it'll be nice. I think I still have to drip my bathroom, but it doesn't need to drip as low. And we'll talk about maybe pre-running with a cap some pipes under there for the bathroom for when we take out the other half of the floor.
Yeah.
So it may actually go back to the plumbing is run under my house, which is what was originally here. What I had been told is that there were pipes under the floor to heat from the floor and that water circulated under the floor. Did you find any evidence of that?
Not circulating under the floor. There was definitely some interesting water pipes that I don't know what they were for because they clearly didn't go to, like, where there was a sink or something. But there was nothing as far as like floor heat for water.
So that's what I told was the original heat here, and it was with a wood burning water heater to heat the water and then circulate it under the floor. What I suspect it may have been were actual radiators somewhere, which would explain why random pipes went to some places.
Because the pipes that I did find were all half buried in the whatever dirt is underneath here, and they were insulated.
Yeah. So anyway, so at the end of this week, we came into this week knowing that we were probably replacing the subfloor, jacking up some joists, maybe replacing some joists. Where we've ended up is all of the joists on this half of my house have taken out. They were 2x4s. We have replaced them with 2x6s, which is the maximum we can go with the clearance that I have here and without creating a big problem for the rest of the house. And it means that my kitchen floor will be 1 inch taller than the rest of the house. And one day in the future, the rest of the house gets done. So we got all the way into the mudroom, which is behind that door there. That floor is still out. And Ken had figured out a way, because my bathroom is high in one corner. It's the right height in one corner. It kind of tilts. There's a little bathroom with a toilet and sink right behind me. And yay, the dogs are barking. And so that means that he was going to sort of get the floor the right height and then have it curve down and go up. He's like, unless you want to rip out this bathroom. And the thing is, I just redid that bathroom 2 years ago, including drywall. And I put a tile floor in. And I was like, well, the tile floor is going to take me half a day to redo. It's not a big deal. And long term, I want to put a shower in right next to that bathroom that's walk-in capable with a little bench. So as mobility issues happen to me and to Mama Sauce, there's a not clawfoot tub where we can bathe. Or if I ever break a leg or something, I mean, not that I want to break a leg, but it would be nice to have that capacity here. So that's always been the long-term plan. And I'm like, literally the entire mudroom is ripped up except for 16 square feet, a 4x4 space where that little bathroom is. And I was like, Tactical's going to kill me. Because now I'm thinking of ripping out the bathroom I just redid. And he was totally on board with it, right?
I'm pretty sure I probed you to say that, yeah, you want to do that now.
Yeah. I didn't expect him to go that way because this project has quadrupled in scope since we started it. What does this mean for the garden, Tactical?
We're not working on it.
Did I work on the garden today?
Oh, I guess you did a little.
Yeah, so as far as the garden goes, you would expect me to be behind. And I'm not. And the only reason I'm not behind is it's not time to plant most things yet, but I got the onions in today. I still have potatoes to do this weekend. All of my rosemary died over the winter when we had the deep freeze, the rosemary we planted in the fall. So Lowe's has rosemary plants right now. So the first set of rosemary plants have gone in already out there. And I have radishes are already germinated. Peas are already germinated. The carrots are starting to come up. I'm actually going to scatter some more seeds today up there before I leave. And tomorrow I'll probably get the potatoes in the morning. And got dog again. And so the garden's doing okay. There's one bed that needs rabbit poop and wood chips. And that can be done pretty much anytime. Actually, yeah, I could use another load of wood chips. But so surprisingly not behind on the garden. The seedlings are up and germinated except for the peppers. They're looking good. I'm looking over at them. And I'm starting tomatoes tomorrow or tonight after dress rehearsal. So surprisingly, this hasn't hurt the garden. And the reason it hasn't hurt the garden is whose time has mostly been used on this project? His. I worked all week. I drove to Chattanooga to go to the Freedom Cell meetup. I have put time in taking stuff to the dumpster, getting materials, giving opinions on what I want where, and approving the ever expanding scope of the project. So that's pretty much what I've done, right? Yep. So, and then I have tried to make sure there's food. That's been a huge challenge as part of this because I don't have my sink anymore. Cece's like making me plumbers crack out. So that's the end of the week. So pretty much from a homesteading perspective, what we got done this week was not very much.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this is gonna throw a lot for this house has been here for what, 30 years?
More than 30 years.
And like the original way that they blocked underneath those 2x4s was a good idea in theory, but not in practice because what they put it on settled a little bit, which is what led to the sagging issues. So I'm kind of thinking that, it's going to be another 30, 40, 50 years before anybody has to touch this floor again. So,
yeah,
if we can get what I want to get done as far as running water and some of the electric issues worked out, then it's really going to set this half of the house up to be the way that she wants it permanently.
Yeah, that's true. And that's good because I've been here 15 years and I've never liked my house. But I was not willing to go into debt to make my house something I did like. And I'm still not. So this project will end without it being completely done, but it'll be livable. And then I will save money again for the next phase, most of which is cosmetic. So we're getting it structurally done. And then I have some cosmetic upgrades I can do over time. Still haven't decided to hey Kool-Aid that wall. Everybody wants me to hey Kool-Aid that wall, and I kind of want to hey Kool-Aid that wall, but I'm not going to do it because I just not ready. When you buy a place that's run down, just know that it can take a lot more to get it run up again. And I think this place, when I bought it, had I had the focus I have now, good afternoon, my crooked little homestead. Nice to see you here. Hello, Pack Rat, Martinson family. Had I had the focus I have now and the ability to plan things out, we would be a lot better off. as far as where this house is compared to everything else, but I didn't have those skills. I was still a poverty mindset person when I bought this house, and that is what it is. I hate it when I say that, but that's something that living here and being on the homestead changed me, because a lot of people struggle with, how do I go from poverty mindset to prosperity mindset? And part of what did it for me was being on a homestead, becoming more food secure, becoming more skilled, having a better awareness of what it takes to take care of myself actually, rather than what society says I need to do to take care of myself. And that has served me really well as I have transitioned to the prosperity mindset. And the prosperity mindset has made a big difference. And I can say that I have more transitioning to do. I'm not all prosperity all the time, but I did fake it till I make it, basically. And I have changed, like fundamentally made some changes in my perspective on things. Hey, Autumn Dawn Endeavors, nice to see you. Cece's having the best day of her life. My dogs are horribly underrepresented. Somebody says, Tactical's IDGAF attitude to live streaming is awesome. What's that mean?
I don't know. Should I be wearing a rainbow or something?
Can you wear a rainbow?
No.
Where is your shepherd's staff?
In the dumpster.
He's had a shepherd's staff for a while. So today we were sitting and talking about where to focus time. And that's a discussion we usually have every day, and we had it 0 times this week, right?
Yeah. This was just charge.
So that was, that's what we say. It was just charge. And one of the things that we do to help keep us aligned on the homestead here is have this daily discussion. And I mean, guys, I know what IDGAF stands for. I just wasn't going to say it so that later when I mark this video as doesn't have profanity, it maybe doesn't have profanity. We haven't made it through the whole video yet, so I don't know if it's going to make it. But so far, we've made it 19 minutes and 5 seconds without saying the F word. Don't do it. I know you want to right now. He's like going to explode. He's like, "Wah." So I don't like to put off those kinds of discussions for too long. And going a whole week without having one was really difficult for me. And a couple of times I was like, do we need to talk? And he was like, nope. And he walked away. So today we had it. And my question was what? I said, do we need to move paddocks for anybody? What'd you say?
Oh, yeah, the boys should have moved yesterday, but they're fine where they're at for the time being. So
how many days have they been there?
I think 7.
7. Yeah, they got to move. And I asked him if he could maybe do it today. And what'd you say?
Nope.
Oh, I thought you said yes, you could work on it.
I can work on it, but
Yeah.
they ain't moving today.
Okay. So he's going to work on moving the... Oh, I just got total dog sneeze all over my arm. He's going to double... Have you taught your dog to cover their nose when they sneeze? Because I just got double snotted and now I need to take a shower. Okay. Anyway, so he's going to work on that. And what we need to have done by Monday in here is, you see through there, there's a cabinet up on the wall. Those need to be taken out. And this is the bathroom. That needs to be taken out. And there's a closet here. That needs to be taken out. So all of that needs to be taken out. Yeah, Gesundheit from Pack Rat, Cece. She doesn't even look sorry. She's just happy to be a doggy. So that all needs to come out. And the cool thing is the Eversouls who helped us with the dump runs today are coming over tomorrow to help demo that. I, on the other hand, am going to drive to Cookeville, Tennessee and sing in a concert. It's my last concert until next fall because the next concert is scheduled in the middle of my spring workshop. And I technically could have gotten up Sunday after my spring workshop, gone to sing this concert and sung it. But I think that the reality is Nicole Sauce is taking that Sunday off. So I decided not to push it. Now, if it had been Mozart's Requiem, I totally would have made it happen, but it's not. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
You'd be a zombie.
I'd be a zombie singing Mozart's Requiem, which would be kind of ironic. I might not have sung as much karaoke at my workshop if I was going to sing the Requiem the next day.
I've seen her after every single one of her workshops. Like after everybody else has left, I get to see the after effects of what that looks like. And yeah, no, she wouldn't be going.
I would be going. I really want to sing Mozart's Requiem one time in my life. It has been a life goal since I was 18. Yep, 18. I was 18 and I was not in concert choir because I was not a music major yet. And they sang Mozart's Requiem. It was the best thing I ever saw in my whole life. And well, no, actually, Carmina Burana by the Nashville Symphony with the Nashville Ballet in the Schermerhorn was the best I've ever seen. But it's the second best thing I've ever seen. And since that time, I've wanted to sing Mozart's Requiem. My choir was finally going to do it. And it was going to perform the week after my spring workshop in 2020. In 2020. And it got 2020'd. Yeah, so, and my choir was pretty much shut down for a long time. And when they went back, they were singing in masks, and I wasn't willing to do that. So I waited another year to come back. That is what it is. So I need to erase that is what it is from my verbal vomit. Okay. How many times do I just say that in a day? Do you know? Nope. You know why he doesn't know? Because he's never listening to me, right?
I listen, but
sometimes
cognizant problems.
He's blaming cognizant problems. I don't think that's true. Sometimes he's like, la, 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 I can't hear you. Do you do that?
No.
I think you do. I was, yesterday I've been learning to drive the four-wheeler, and I got it all the way over to the Eversoles, and I couldn't get it to start. And finally I'm like, dude, I can't get it to start. And he's like, well, is it neutral? And I was like, no. And every time I hit the gear thing, it's not going to neutral. So I don't know what. He's like, well, you have to rock it back and forth. And so I'm like rocking this thing. And then it finally went into neutral and then it started. My motorcycle was way easier to drive than your four-wheeler.
Okay.
My hardest learning curve on that thing is that the motorcycle throttle is like that and his is like that. And so I hit the thing and I'm like jerk because I give it too much because I'm used to this, but I'm getting better at it, right? So far I haven't hit anything with the four-wheeler, and you were sure I was going to hit the trailer that the other day going in reverse.
I wasn't sure if you were watching where the trailer was.
I was. That's why I didn't hit it. And I was going very, very slowly. The first rule of Tautology Club is the first rule of Tautology Club. I don't know what that means. I don't know
what tautology is. That's definitely not a redneck thing.
It's apparently not a Nicole Sauce word either. So somebody Google that for me and tell me what it means. The tautology does have room for positivity. It is what it is. Can be a statement of resilience. You don't despair. You learn the lesson and proceed forward. Thanks, Pat Pratt. Right. That's why I usually say that, because there was a time in my life where my personal motto was life's a bitch, then you die. And if that is the story you tell yourself, you don't have very many good days. And I thought it was funny because I was being sarcastic. But actually what was happening is I was programming myself to see the negative and stuff. And I realized one time when something really bad happened to me, but I didn't die, that the good thing was I didn't die. And I learned a lesson about not to do something. And I thought, oh, wow, there's like two sides to everything, right? And one side is that this really sucks. And the other side is I can see this from a positive light, or I can find the positive in it. Or if there is no positive in it, I can find a way to take my first step out of it. Because if I focus on how much it sucks, then I never get out of it. I remember it 20 years from now, and it's the reason I can't have a healthy relationship, or it's the reason that I can't make money, or it's the reason that I can't lose weight, or whatever it is. And so that realization in my mid-20s was really helpful for me. And that's probably where I got it is what it is, because I would walk in to something and people who were around me would be freaking out about oh my God, we got to take the whole floor out and the joists and it's all gross and they built it wrong to begin with. And oh my God, I don't know what to do. And I'm thinking, all we can do is look at what is in front of us and figure out the next step. And if we just do that, the next step may not even be the right step, but it's a step. And that's better than freaking out and not doing anything. So I'm back. When my phone battery gets low, it won't let me type. So now I'm on my laptop. Welcome back, my crooked little homestead. Yeah. And having that realization that early, I think I was really lucky because I was headed towards a real interesting life of servitude in my 20s, I would say. And the fact that I broke that mindset was instrumental in me discovering a bunch of other unhealthy things. And I'm sure that, 6 months from now, my podcast, I'm going to be saying, wow, this is a really stupid thing I've brought with me for 50 years that I shouldn't have poisoning my mindset. But I'll share with that when I find out what it is. So the rest of today, he's going to work on a paddock for the boys because this time of year, the parasite load is likely to be higher. So so we do need to move them. Are we going to put them together before Self-Reliance Festival?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you want me to work with you on a strategy for keeping baby out of the dog food?
We will discuss that later.
We will discuss it later. Is that because you don't want to think about it right now?
Yeah.
Are you feeling overwhelmed?
I'm not feeling overwhelmed, but there's a certain reality of I've spent the last 4 days in here and it's like, oh, sunsets in like 10 minutes. I should probably start on evening animals. Like I've hardly spent any time with the animals since we started this project. So it's like once we get this to where it's like we can slow down on working on it, then it's like, okay, how close are we to self-reliance? And do we actually have time to do anything? Yeah. 3 weeks.
Are you mad at me for starting this before Self-Reliance Festival?
No, I'm not mad. I'm glad we're doing it, but there's also a reality of like we're doing this and there's a lot of other things that aren't getting done because we're doing this. And that's just a fact of life.
Those are all going to stack up too. So listen to a podcast this morning with an Apache guy. He told the story of his family regularly saying it's a good day to die. That was a positive. It meant they were good with the family, nature, and God, and it's all about perspective. That's something I was thinking about the other day too. I don't want to die right now. But the other day I thought if I do die today, I think things are in order enough that it's okay. And that makes it easier to face fears when you're there. Nicole, you're doing an amazing job, or you're doing amazing. I've had my homestead for 23 years, lost my house to fire, and then 3 days later, COVID hit. I'm so sorry. Wow, supply chain issues, right when you have to build a new house. I live in 2 10 by 20 cabins, and I'm still going. I can't afford to build a new house. Is that why it's your crooked little homestead? And the reason you're getting through this, my crooked little homestead, is probably because you were a homesteader for the previous 20 years. And you understand that stuff gets destroyed and you rebuild it. And it may not be what it once was, and that stinks sometimes, but it's you have what you have. You do what you can with what you have, which is his tagline, right?
Yep.
So we all do what we can with what we have. I actually just threw away a bunch of subfloor that was not rotten because it smells like old musty library. And the homesteader in me wanted to keep that somewhere for an outside project. But then I thought the other thing that we homesteaders do is we hang on to things that might be valuable. And when we hang on to too many things, they get destroyed because we don't maintain them. They're in the way of us doing well. So finding that balance between what to keep and what not to keep can be a big struggle. And I have come to the conclusion that my default, if I'm asking myself the question, should I keep this, is get rid of it, because like I just gave somebody an incubator that AutoFab gave to me to incubate eggs in. I haven't incubated eggs in 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years. And I thought, you know what? This person who's a homesteader who I know wants to incubate eggs. I can give her this for free and she can incubate eggs. And she gets to see what that's like. And if I ever need to incubate eggs, I either buy one or somebody else is going to have one I can borrow or they'll give to me. And that started a cascade of dejunkifying here, which is, you know, as y'all know, I've been doing it for a while. So I was happy to do that. I told her, I'm like, what other homestead things do you need? Because I'm literally just purging stuff I thought I would use that I'm not. I'm keeping the plucker. I'm keeping the scalder. We're keeping the cones. I'm keeping the vacuum sealer. Like I use those every year. They're in rotation. But the stuff that hasn't been in rotation for a long time, I'm even looking sideways at the rototiller right now. No, you're going to fix it and I'm going to sell it. It needs the pull string put on. And probably the carb rebuilt. Yeah.
Needs a carb and a new pull string.
Carb and a new pull string. And then it's actually a rear tine, very nice rototiller I never use. Do I ever use it?
No.
No.
It's been used once or twice since I've been
I
here.
did sell a wood chipper that I shouldn't have sold that I totally would use. But I'll eventually get one. Do they make battery operated ones that are worth a darn?
You probably make an electric one that's worth something.
Yeah, I might get an electric. What I've decided is I shouldn't have gas engine stuff around me because I don't know how to maintain it. I haven't learned how to maintain it. And then I have to ask him to maintain it. And then he's like too busy to maintain it. And then it just doesn't work. Tonight's the night, every night. And today is a good day to die. Yes, for 40 plus years, it's been a way of life as long as I have God in my life and my family and my homesteaders. And you homesteaders, it's like I'm in heaven. Yeah, you know, living on a homestead becomes just sort of a natural way of life. And then we talk about it on our shows. And people think it's like, wow, how do you do that all the time? And I'm like, oh, I shouldn't say, and I'm like, but I think that when I first started homesteading, I didn't do all the things I do now, but they became habits.
Yeah.
And then I don't think about what I'm doing. I don't think about that I dry my herbs as I go. And there's this whole cycle where I dry them and on this rack, and then I forget to put them in jars for 5 months. And then spring comes and it's time for seedlings. And then I finally put them in the jars and then I use those for herbs. That's my cycle. Another homesteader came in and saw my drying rack full of herbs. And she was like, yeah, I always put off putting them in jars too. And I'm like, yeah, it's part of my cycle. Other people get them straight in the jars once they're dry. I'm not that person. So I just realized you went live watching the My Three Things webinar with my notes a final time tonight. Been working with it and the 13 stomps. Cool, Rachel. I'm glad to hear that. If you join the mastermind group, you will have access to that recording after tonight because the recording comes down tomorrow. So Autumn says, I can bring my wood chipper. Oh, we can borrow one.
Who has a wood chipper? Dawn,
who we bought the sheep from.
Oh.
Sweet.
I don't know.
Awesome, Dawn. I might want to trade some ground lamb for that. Anyway, I know she likes lamb because she had them. So anyway, so we've been live about 35 minutes. Anything else you want to say about what are we doing next week?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing for the rest of the day and tomorrow.
He's working on the new pasture because the light is perfect. He's going to have to move those sheep. So you might as well do that. Yeah. I want to, oh yeah. Okay. We'll talk about that. I want to trim hooves this week.
Okay.
And that means we have to choose a day to do it. I wonder how smart, feasible it would be to power a cutter for wood chipping on a reduction gear from a surplus center and an electric motor. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Kate, got any opinions on that?
It's very big. It depends. I'm not a fan of one-trick ponies, but there are some things I'm a massive fan of one-trick ponies, and wood chippers would be one. Like, I have to have a really good reason for me to have a motor that's dedicated to set up to different attachments like that. Like a tractor is a good example where it's not a one-trick pony, But like a push mower, no, that's a one-trick pony, and it needs to stay a one-trick pony. I don't want something that's supposed to mow the grass and till and weed eat and like something else. No, just give me a push mower.
I need to sell my battery operated push mower.
Sell a lot of things.
Yeah. We have a compressor for sale, a battery operated push mower.
A stack of hand
You
tools
cannot
out
sell
there.
that wagon you want to sell.
Well, then do something with it, because I'm not going to use it.
A Radio Flyer red wagon? No, I think I'm going to use it. What else do you have to sell? He has 2 ammo can lamps.
I've got like 4 or 5.
He's got 4 or 5 of those. I've got a Makita drill set, like drill and impact driver.
I've got a whole set of Craftsman tools, an inverter, all sorts of stuff out there.
Yeah, we have a big old homestead, like useful things clearance sale about to happen. And I've been kind of posting them on Facebook Marketplace and nobody's been interested.
Well, people are also of the opinion that you should be selling something for, 20% of its value right now.
Ammo can lamp? Justin you piqued his interest. Rachel, you emailed about the mastermind group. I will be in touch. What happened is I made it a sub list of my MailChimp account, and people who were already subscribed to me had trouble getting on, and I need to change what I use for the mastermind group for the My 3 Things. So you will get, I didn't see your email, but I did just answer somebody today, but it wasn't you. So I'll go back and see if I missed one, but I will make sure you're on it if you want to be on it. And I'm launching a different system because the system I have is not serving me. And where I'm at right now is I will use an imperfect system until I find the right system, because I'm not going to wait around and find the right system. If you had a PTO mounted chipper and a tractor, that's a standard solution as well. Yep, no tractor here. Wagons are great for hardening off seedlings. That's a good point. Love that idea. Well, it's just the base with the lamp top, or is the ammo can the actual lamp? Yeah, so it's like the base and there's a little lamp that stands out the top.
It's an outdoor landscaping light housing with just like a 40 or a 60 watt bulb in it.
Yeah.
Toggle switch, turn it on and off.
Rachel, we will make sure you don't miss out, because I have now seen this, but send me another email just in case. Yeah, they're pretty cool. And I think Nighthawk has some stuff to get rid of. I've got a tile saw I'm going to sell because Nighthawk's tile saw is better than mine. And I don't like keeping power tools around I'm not using, because in Tennessee there's humidity. So you want them to work all the time. Willing for the butt kicking. Yeah, that does happen in mastermind groups. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining us for our sort of ramble and debrief from the kitchen studio, which includes a bread maker behind me on the subfloor. I just had to repack a whole bunch more stuff because we're taking more walls out. So, and then I walked in there and sprained my ankle on the pipes that I didn't see. So we've got a radio flyer. I want something that's wider and lower, as a child's wagon is tippy going over pasture and land. Yeah, this one was originally for sheep minerals, which we need to make sure they have minerals. And the idea was have this portable wagon with a cover, and it just never quite worked. So, we'll see. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining. We will see you next week.